right?
Welcome once again to our channel, Moto Mouths Uganda, where we talk about a whole lot of issues to do with cars, automotive systems, road designs, road safety. Name it, we shall discuss it here. You can always mention topics in the comments and we will discuss them here and see what we can learn and what enlightenment we can pick from here. As usual, we have our resident engineer, Ivan Chibuka, who is going to tell us about this loss of public trust in vehicle repair industry. You know, we have so many garages, workshops, you know, they take different names and different shapes. And some of them specialize in some cars. Others, you know, you bring your car and they figure out what is going on from there. Others are just, you know, at fuel stations where they are doing maybe servicing, and then once your car breaks down, you rush and branch into a fuel station and ask for a mechanic. So many issues. Of course, in this era of the internet, sometimes when the car breaks down, you just go to Google and see if you can fix it yourself as you wait for the mechanic. But there have always been complaints among the users of motor vehicles. Some say when they go to the garage, they are overcharged. They are, you know, thrown off board by the language. Someone is talking about carburetor, injector pump, you know, saying things so that they confuse you, the owner of the car. Others say they are judged based on gender. You know, some women, when the car has an issue, they say, I better give it to my boyfriend or my husband because that one will not be cheated like me. Others are also just cheated based on the, you know, the value of the car. Yeah, bana ababenzi balina sente, you know. So there are so many issues. There seem to be a lack of, should I call it standardization or certainty that if my car has this issue and I take it, it will be fixed. It will not be fixed based on the, you know, the state of the tires or how it smells inside. Yeah. So today we have you on the other side to tell us the good thing you've been in both worlds. So we look forward to insights. Yes.
Yeah, thank you very much. You ticked off something in my brain when you mentioned some people take cars to the garage and they are judged depending on things like how the car smells. For example, if it smells like a fish, they deal with you like a fisherman. if it smells like a saloon, like hair beauty products are smelling in there, so yeah, you are judged accordingly. Yeah, it may be right, but generally, the message is penna tulina okwebereramu. Penna meaning all of us on either end of this industry. For example, sometimes it's not only the owners of the vehicles that are cheated. Sometimes, many times, actually, the owners of the vehicles cheat the mechanics. It may be money, guy fixes something, you make a lot of noise, you don't pay for certain things. Sometimes you threaten them, you threaten them by saying you are going to call somebody above, somebody, you know, that you have a relative who is big in government, and then you don't pay the poor guy. Sometimes you come to them for diagnostic work, which you don't pay for, and you walk away and you go to the next garage. Yeah, so these things can be inconvenient sometimes for both sides. But today I want to tackle the topic of, you know, the diagnosis being different between different garages. Advice I would give to car owners that if you get a diagnosis from one garage or mechanic that you're not satisfied with, it's okay to go and get a second opinion, but note that you have probably used up the first mechanic's time or first mechanic's garage or mechanic. You have used up their time, which they would have spent making money. So please be mindful of that and pay them at least for the diagnosis because it costs time and we all earn by spending time on the various tasks. So it's not okay for you to have a guy spend 1 hour looking over your vehicle and then you drive away and like nothing happened. Anyway, it's okay for owners to get a second opinion, and mechanics and garages should be okay with this because if you are standing behind your diagnosis, it's okay to allow the customer because you want to be shown that you are transparent. It's okay for purposes of transparency to allow the customer to go and get another opinion. Sometimes you may miss something which the other garage picks up on. Although many times, typically, most of our garages, they try to kuita kuwa kasa. They try to throw the previous garage in bad light. Anyway, the owner, when you get a second opinion that contradicts the mechanic's diagnosis, and you say it out without transparency from your side, it can lead to disagreements between you and the garage or the mechanic. So the advice I would give to car owners, let me start with the car owners. I will also give advice to mechanics. But the car owners, please start by doing your own research and understand the problem. It helps if you have some idea of what's wrong with the vehicle. It helps a lot. You very, very quickly tell a guy that is giving you stories and one that seems to know what they are doing. Although, for some of the car owners, that can also be a problem. Some of you are big-headed. Once you know something little, you go there as if you approach the garage or mechanic as if you have a PhD in automotive repair. So it's useful to have some information, but be open-minded, remain open-minded when you approach a garage. Ask for detailed explanations, request for clarifications where explanations have made sense to you. And if possible, request for visual evidence or if there is physical damage to the vehicle that is the garage is claiming, request for visual evidence. Get it in writing where possible, and also ask for written estimates because your plan is to go to ask for a comparison elsewhere. So get it in writing. Don't just say, sometimes by the time you are telling the other garage or mechanic the story, now otademu supu. You have forgotten some things. Now otademu supu, or sometimes intentionally you are trying to show to throw the other mechanic in bad light. It's not good. It's not fair. Imagine if it was you that was being unfairly judged. So consider a third opinion. Go beyond even a second opinion if you can afford it. Sometimes it's the vehicle repair that is required is the emergency that maybe it's a roadside thing, so you don't have, you cannot afford even a second opinion. But where you can, if the vehicle is still motorable, you can consider a third opinion even. But remember, you have to keep compensating these people whose time you are spending to get this opinion. Please compensate them accordingly. They are spending time on your problem. It's not fair to walk away and get 5 opinions for free. It is not right. So you can go now to a neutral mechanic or a specialist. Although whatever they are telling you now, also sometimes everybody. The thing is, the more people you get involved over a small repair, the more expensive it is also getting for you and also becoming time consuming for everyone involved. So you can leverage also on online diagnostic tools. For example, if the garage has been able to print out a list of diagnostic codes, you can go and Google and see generally what those codes are talking about. Do they match what the mechanic or the garage is claiming that is required to be done on the vehicle? Yes or no? You also should keep maintaining open communication and discuss discrepancies with all these garages. Because these mechanics also pick up on you when they realize that you're also telling stories. We've seen this many times. The client brings in a car, he says something else is wrong with it. Yes, whatever he's claiming is wrong with it. But as you do the diagnosis, you realize he's not telling you the whole story. You realize that maybe the car has been to a previous garage or other previous mechanics who did damage, or even the owner himself or their knowledgeable person tampered with the vehicle and created more problems, but now they don't want to tell you that. So when you don't communicate openly, it's not good, because once the mechanic realizes that's what you are doing, they realize you're crook, so they also decide to bring out their crook colors to counter yours. Yeah. So discuss the discrepancies openly and build a relationship with a trusted mechanic or a group of trusted mechanics. Bottom line is this industry needs trust at the bottom of everything. Now, for the mechanics, because a lot of people are complaining about mechanics and garages cheating them. Babamu obusanyi, you know, catalytic converters are stolen from vehicles when they go for repair of dents. The vehicle comes back without a catalytic converter. The battery has changed to the poorer one. Why? These are the things that are killing your business. You may gain today by stealing a client's battery. Things add up. Down the road, you lose clients. And once you do, it's hard to rebuild. It's easier to start afresh in the industry than to try to claw back, to claim, or try to reclaim a good name when you've done manyanga. So when you are offering diagnosis to customers, please offer visual proof. If possible, print out diagnostic, use technology, print out diagnostic codes that the diagnostic computer is pulling out of the vehicle for you, and then use those to convince the client that what you are telling them is actually the problem with the car, and your suggested repair will fix it. These clients are not exactly dumb. When you explain to them, they may not be mechanics, but when you explain to them certain technical things, they are exposed, the majority of them. They will understand the things. Don't try to shroud all your dealings, trying to hide what you are doing. I find it easier to teach a client about cars, more if they are interested, to teach them technical things about a car than to try to hide behind the technical jargon and trying to show as if what you are doing is a mystery, like there is magic you are doing with a car. Bakuyita kubuusa. Abamakanika tebaagala abakasitoma kubuuka. And when you do that, nga toyagala kubuusa abakasitoma, it means you a cheat. Can you be also happy if you go to a hospital and they give you a wrong diagnosis, and then you realize the nurse or whoever was there was hiding information from you? It's not right. So they are also human beings and they are your customers, so you need to take care of them. It's like watering a plant. Mugjeeko ntono leero tomubba, asigazewo balance gw'anaakuleetera next time. Naye kakati bw'ozikuba omulundi gumu, he will not come back altogether. Especially if they find out if bw'akizuula nti obadde omubba. Yeah, so provide a breakdown of costs and be transparent. And be willing to collaborate. If they tell you that the other garage saw this XYZ, tosooka kuba kasa. First ask maybe for a diagnosis, a printed diagnosis if it is available. Also pictures if it is something that was opened up but they put it back. Did they take pictures? Where are they? So cooperate with the other mechanics. Trust me, never onokola obubadi bumeka. You are not going to fix all the cars in the country in Kampala. They will not all come to you. So buli omu alina okufunako z'akola ki. But try to do this fairly. I think you last longer in the game, in the business. Yeah. I mean, you can't beat having happy customers. Most of you know it. That's how you get more business. Word of mouth. So, bw'otuuka ku kiseera n'olaba nga they have become too many for you to handle efficiently or fairly, instead of trying to grab all the business for yourself and cheating them, it is better to raise your rates a little bit such that you remain only with the customers you can handle fairly, but you don't lose revenue at the same time. So that you have to bring some good business thinking. As a mechanic or a garage, you are one kind of like a doctor for cars, but also you have to understand to be a good businessman. Yeah, that's what I wanted to pass on. I don't know if you have any comments or questions.
The comment I would have also, there is this people don't like being there in the garage when the car is being repaired. So sometimes they take it there, leave it there. And then they complain that, such and such a thing was taken out. Of course, someone may say garages should have cameras, but some of these things are taken from under the car, where the camera may not reach.
Yeah, but you can see the activity and relate to what is going on. You can see the activity from the camera. But anyway, in any case, how many garages in Uganda have cameras installed?
Then the other case is where people have, like the way you have your border guy, you have your mechanic. So the car gets a problem, you just leave it somewhere and you tell him, najire sao ngaku roundabout, jango jichime.
Yeah.
So the mechanic comes to pick it and takes it for repair. And sometimes you don't know if after the repair, the car has been tested or, I used to see something interesting in Kigali that when a car would leave the garage, it would have something like a special number plate to show that they are testing it.
Yeah, those are garage plates.
Yes,
they actually call them dealer plates.
Yes, so they would drive it around, test it, then I think hand it over to the client, as opposed to the client just coming to take it, and once they are driving after like 10 kilometers, they call, I think those are some of the things also that can lead to mistrust, that the car has not been tested after being fixed, because the garage where it is cramped, the man can't now go into traffic jam. So he just does what he does and says,
yeah, I used to see those garage plates long ago when I was a child. I see them these days, but not so much. These days, it's hard for someone to fix a car and not road test it afterwards. Personally, I've tested many vehicles. Some repairs require road tests. Not every repair requires a road test. If I've been repairing mirrors or lights or wipers, I do not have to go on the road to test that they are working. But if I've been dealing with a drivability problem, a customer brought a car, said it didn't have power, things like that. After the fix, of course, there is evidence I will see on the diagnostic machine. Some symptoms will have disappeared, maybe misfires and all that. But I need to prove because sometimes the client, their main complaint is not so much that the check engine light is on or what. They just say, emmotoka yange terina maanyi. So ogenda okugivugamu ng'epipira obutala bwaka nga ye ebyo teyabikugambyeko. It was not bothering him. What is bothering him nti amaanyi tekola ki. Kakati gwe you put all that together n'omanya nti okay, the problem is the cause of all these symptoms. Naye nga ye teyabyogeddeko. So once you finish the repair, you take the vehicle on the road, and then they will be surprised. We had a drone. We had a drone we worked on, the newer drone, say 2017 or 18. Mubarak and I worked on it. It had a DPF issue, diesel particulate filter issue. When that issue of a blocked diesel particulate filter came up, it brought so many lights on the dashboard. They kept driving it. Eventually, they brought it to us. Their main complaint was that the vehicle had become sluggish. I expected that complaint. Now, once we fixed it, the lights disappeared. They said, hey, even the lights have disappeared. There are so many lights for traction control, lane departure, all were related to, these cars, a lot of things are related to correct engine functioning. When the engine can't correct properly, many things will disable. Traction control, lane departure systems will disable, even if it has this autopilot feature, cruise control. Also that will disengage, that kind of thing. So you fix one small problem, it looks like a small problem, you fix so many things. Those were like, hey, hey, it was not even engaging gear 5. This thing has 4 gears. Because previously it had gone into fail-safe mode and it was only using 4 gears. It was not engaging 5th gear. Hey, so it has 5th gear. The thing is consuming less fuel and even the gears are smoother. You understand? So sometimes you have so many of those things, but also some of the mechanics don't understand the interconnectivity of some of these features. So even the mechanic may not explain to you why once they have done some repair, something else has changed on the vehicle because they cannot relate it. In their training, they have not encountered it and in their experience. So that is why it is important for mechanics to keep going back for training, although that is a hard paper also because they spend most of their time 24/7 fixing cars. Aba akyali kweno omulala n'amuleetera eno, aba akyali kweno ate alemerawo asigalawo gwakolera. Gwe bw'oleeta emmotoka n'ogiteekawo omulala najja n'amugamba nkeereraako wano ajja kugenda kwoli. So some customers, they may not have time. Some customers decide to wait. Although sometimes that's also not, it's a good thing, but some customers, namwe mukisusa, omusajja aba akola omubeera mabega. Bwadda wansi nga naawe okkirira. Wayambuka buli kyakwatako. Sometimes for me when I'm working on a vehicle and the customer is like that, not because I have anything to hide. Sometimes I don't want to, because in Bankola I receive a phone call or you can sit somewhere and observe what is happening to the vehicle. Tomufiirako buli kanati kasumuluddeko n'okabala. Sometimes bakasoma namwe temuli bangu. Yeah.
I've had people complaining of even these things that cover the where the air pressure.
But that is because you are going to, I don't want to call them juakali. Nena mwe bamakanika be munoonya. Beebo gwomanyi kubanga mukwano gwo yamukulaga and that kind of thing. Then olina ekirala ky'oyogeddeko. People stick to their mechanics, the mechanics they know. Like oli bwagamba ti I have my border guy. Kati abeerayo ninayo makanika wange. Makanika wo sometimes abeera mulungi ku beginning. Ku motoka gy'oba olina kati oba walina 100 kati ogenda ogula compressor 2 nga abilities ku motoka eyo ntono tayagala ku disappointinga lwa trust gy'obadde naye ku emyaka egyo kati n'agezaako bambi n'akwata ku bikyamu kati ale namwe bamakanika mbanenya bw'omanyaga ekintu kikusinga kkiriza bw'oba olina gw'omanya akikusingako ogwo omulimu gugabe ojja kusigaza customer. Most of the customers retain you because you can help them in emergencies. I've been in the vehicle repair industry for many years. People would bring to us cars nga ziganye mu magaraji amalala, even in dealerships, ne muzikola. Ne mukola ebintu ebizibu ne bamakanika ne batandika okubaleetera emirimu. Kati abantu ne bamanya nti you are good. You are technically you are very competent. You would think that people, once they get new problems with the car, they will run to you. Omanyiti tebadda okujjako ng'era ekintu kiri complex. Why? Because they will call me when they are stuck in Masindi. And I will say, the only thing I will tell them, emotoka gifunire carrier ogirete. Whereas their usual mechanic will get on a bus and go and try to do something from there. Sometimes ajja kuba recovering ku kkubo kiro ssaawa 9 yajja kuluma ennyumba agenda akole ki. Nze sigenda kikola. So that's why the customers revert back to what? Naye nabo balina bye basobola. Buli omu alinako advantages ne disadvantages. So that's why it is good to have like 2-3 garages or mechanics. Tolemera ku omu nti no. So I go back to that thing of as Ugandans, we like that thing of black or white. Ono mulungi 100%, oli mubi 100%. Buli omu alinako advantages. Yeah, then the other thing of leaving the vehicle in the garage when you are working on it, if you leave it in a competent workshop, it is the best thing because tebagenda kukola ku motoka yo ng'oli awo. Emmotoka singa zizze 10 omulundi gumu. Bwe mubeera mu garage, you organize them, tusooka kukola eno, muzikolako according to ki, naye kati bw'ojja nga tulina emmotoka 5. Na zonna tukyazikolako in the order gye zajjidde, ojja kulinda okoowe. So eventually either you are going to take your vehicle away, ate mwe mutukozi ng'oluusi okukola ensobi ku bakasitoma abalala. Kubanga gonsanga nkola ku motoka ya muntu mulala, nongamba, alo, soko gyondabireko wano, because the other guy is not around. So now we are cheating the guy who brought his car first. Ati agenda y'okkomawo olw'eggulu nga yakuwadde obudde, agenda okkomawo ng'emmotoka tennaggwa n'omuyiiya by'omuyiiyiza. Okitegeera? But that is because 2-3 guys came in the middle of the day and they cheated. So you as the mechanic, you have, or the garage, you have to stand, you have to put procedures in place. This is what dealerships are good at. Many people say dealerships are expensive. It is true, but also they are organized in how they do things. Ate ekintu bwe baba tebakikole bakubuulirirawo nti ekyo engine ekola ki epipira. Bajja kugamba the price of a new engine is 8 million. In short, bakugamba fete tukola engine, but we sell you a new engine. Kati gwe wawulira tosobola kugula engine ya $8 oba 9 empya. Take your chip. Bonna balina advantages and disadvantages. Please learn this. Dealerships are not there to fix cars. They are the authorized manufacturer's point of contact with the customer. But their main business, because they are franchises most of the time, their main business is in selling parts. Okitegeera? Where possible, they also sell time, but their time is expensive. Okitegeera? Dealership ejja kubanga bakola, by the way, okutwala emmotoka yo mu dealership, okola appointment, right? Most cars go there by appointment. They know how much time they are going to spend on servicing that vehicle. Most of the time, emmotoka zigendayo kufuna this regular service. They know how much time is going to, they even quote for you how much it is going to cost because they know the spares they bagenda okuteekamu. So, mu spares, bali mu kutunda bintu. Wali mu time omwana ajamala nga ali ku motoka eyo, they are selling time. And it is definite, bakimanyi nti omwana mu motoka mu dakiika 35, eyo emmotoka ajja kuba agimaze. Okitegeera? Ne organizing nti agenda kukola emmotoka 8, buli mmotoka oba bagisabye emitwalo 4, they have already calculated their income for the day down to the hour. Goleeta emmotoka epipira, okay, ye brand yaabwe gye bakolako. Bakugamba giteekaawo naye sooka otulekereyo obukadde 2 bwa diagnosis. aye bano ba milioni 2 diagnosis oli makanika wange atekako ekyuma dakika 5 nga wekyanga ng'ositula emmotoka ng'ogijjawo. But you know what you have saved them? You have saved them okusikayo omwana oli, okitegeera, abadde agenda okukola ku mmotoka 8 bafuneko buli mmotoka emitwalo 80, okitegeera, mu lunaku lumu, nga balina n'abaana abalala nga 5-6 abakola ekintu kyekimu. You have saved them their time, so they use that tactic, okitegeera. Just know this: dealerships are knowledgeable, very much knowledgeable about the cars, but their business model is not for fixing cars. That's why era bakugamba bagikolako paka warrant erweggwako, okitegeera. Bakola ebiri within reason. Bakimanyi mu myaka egy'etaano warrant nga kweri, it's very hard okuba ne byotta, okiraba. Eyo business model yaabwe bwekola, respect it. Bw'oba tosobola, come to the independent garages. Kati nammwe abali mu independent garages, nammwe mweyise bulungi. Just know that you are filling in the gap. Oli client, you have to be knowledgeable. Actually, omuntu ali mu independent garage, you have to be more knowledgeable about repairs than the guy in the dealership. Ochiraba. Yeah, so the business models are slightly different. Dealerships, remember this: their main business is selling new cars, selling parts, and sometimes selling time when they are servicing your vehicle. It's very hard for dealerships to make money on repairing. Era boche ekijja okubanguyira okugamba emmotoka amagulu gawuluguma biki habu ne axo ya sente bweziti biru yeno milioni 16. Gubulaba nga baziseera nga weyongerayo, okitegeera. It is tactical. It's not into baseera because babbi. It's not like that. Yeah, so, and some people, like you said, some people don't like, we have a common friend. I don't shy away from mentioning him here, Kapi. Kapi ye bwabe tayagala mmotoka ye kugiraba nga mugibikudde. Ebe mukabi ayagala agirabe nga mugitereezezza. So ye bwagibawa tajja kulinnya mu garage. Ayagala mugikomyewo ng'ekoze ekyo. Obuzibu buteredde. Some customers are like that. So when you have a customer like that, aba kutrust in the 100%. You have a customer like that, please don't disappoint them. Okitegeera. Wakirigamba ekintu nakinoonyerezaako naye siri 100% sure tusooke tugezese kino. Be clear. Omuntu amanye abeere ne expectations ng'omugambi tusooke tugezese. Bw'oba toli sure, naye abantu abasinga tebaagala kukozesa kigambo ekyo. Akuwa assurance naye ng'ate byakugamba naye oluusi tali sure. So yeah, bibaamu in the industry. I hope I've answered some of the questions you asked. We have 5 minutes left.
And you at the end you introduced the issue of dealerships, which I think people like Sifao for Toyota and they handle.
Yeah.
But along the same line, I wanted you to talk about this common practice where you see we have garages. I bring to your garage. Then those cases where then they tell me, you go for inagitwala wali ku Entebbe Road. Waliwo musajja
bweba Subaru ne bagamba wagenda ku Kavule, things like that.
Things like that. What would be comment on that?
It means those guys have experience, first of all. They have, but usually they have experience on simpler things, on the simpler. The problem may look big, but the actual repair is not that complex. It's just that the other person, because of routine of dealing with so many of those cars, abadde akikola akimanyi. Kati ojja muleetera emmotoka eyo either nga it is a newer version of the car, a newer model, oba nga problem mpya naye nga it manifests nga symptoms ziringa eza problem enkadde. Agambolinge atomere butomezi akole solution bulijjo gy'atera okukola. kigane. Most of those guys baba batraininga hands on nga tebakola nnyo theory. Omuntu asoose n'ayiga theory okkanika emmotoka, their brain especially bwabanga tali restricted mu brand nti yayigira mu Benz kizibu musanga agamba Toyota era ajja kugaa nze nkola Benz zokka, nze nkola BMW zokka. Naye emmotoka zonna bwe zigenda mu petrol station zinywa amafuta geegamu, right? So kitegeeza they behave the same way. Imagine if you go to a heart surgeon n'agamba nze nkola ku mitima naye nze emitima nkanika gy'Abachina yokka. Kati oyo dokita tomwekangamu. Naga nze gy'Abafirika n'Abazungu n'Abawarabu sigikwatako. Gwe teweekangamu. Kati bw'osanga makanika agamba nti nkola Benz zokka, ayinza okuba omutuufu nti ye training gye yayiga ebintu yakwata bukwasi by cramming. Ye training gye yafuna yali ya cramming, ate nga baali badiringa only in that brand. Kati he is being honest in as far as okukugamba bw'eba si Benz toleeta. Kati obuzibu obusinga okuva ng'omuleetedde ayinza okukola Benz y'enkadde kuziri ze yayigirako nga gye yatrainingira ze zaaliwo. Kati emyaka giyitawo otandika okuleeta empya technology bagenda bamukyusaamu. Kati olw'okuba taddayo for training nga gyazigwamu era garages bwe zityo zimanyi okuggwa eventually. Zisooka ne zipiikinga emyaka bwe giyitawo era ogenda okuwulira nga yakoze eki. Era omuntu abasinga they reinvent themselves adda mu kutunda spare oba biki. Abamu basurvivinga, some are open-minded by the way, bonna tebali bwe batyo. Mulimu abali open-minded azuukuka n'amanya nti nina n'okuyingirako eno oba n'agira n'atraining. Yeah, so bibeeramu naye tekitegeeza nti omuntu bwe bagamba nti oyo kafulu wa Subaru nti 100%. Ayinza okuba nga mulungi nga tajja kumalira budde ng'amanyi exactly what the problem is. But after some time, model zikyuka bye yakwata mu mutwe ne bivaako. Ne biba nga tebikyakola. Ng'ekweza emmotoka nga bikadde. Waliwo baggayi abaali bakanika mu gy'ekinaana. Okay, bayinza okuba bakaddiye physically nga amaanyi gakendedde. Naye era generally bava mu kukanika lwakuba nti emmotoka kati ziba zitandise okubasukkako ku level. Naye ate omuntu ali mu independent n'akaddiwa naye n'asigala ng'afuna training mbalaba nnyo e Bulaaya. They survive in the industry paka lwa retiring. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I don't think I have any other questions. You have highlighted on so many things where the mistrust comes from on both sides.
Mm.
Our viewers will improve on whether they are technicians or car owners.
Yeah, the benefit you guys are getting is that nze mbibaddemu mbonye on both ends. As a customer ne banzibirayo ne bazoonoona emmotoka, also ne mu garage ne mbeerayo nga nzikola ezimu ne zitereera nga oyise wala okoze research wa nnaku bbiri naye the actual fixing kasi otegeera obuzibu bwawe buli ng'omaze obisomako n'ogifikisingira mu ddakiika 3, customer n'akusasulira eddakiika ezo 3 period. Tomunyumiza research oli gwe wakoze. So when I share these things, I'm probably saving some of you time and money. Naye fena tulina okukyusa mu attitude mu interaction zaffe on both sides as mechanics and as vehicle owners.
Thank you so much. Thank you for all the enlightenment you've shared, insight.
Yeah, you are very welcome. Thank you too for hosting me.